What's up, guys? Welcome back to another week of Mission Kids Church at Home. It is going to be an awesome Sunday hanging out together, and I cannot wait. So, let's jump in.
Waking up knowing there's a reason. All my dreams come alive. Life is for living with you. I've made my decision. You lift me up, fill my eyes with wonder. Forever young in your love. This freedom's untainted. With you, no moment is wasted. Sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turns to color all around. All is new in the Savior I have found. This is living now. This is living now. There's nothing like living with you. This life you created, I choose. See the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turns to color all around. All is new in the Savior I have found. This is living now. Clouds, black and white, turns to color all around. All is new in the Savior I have found. See the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turns to color all around. All is new in the Savior I have found. Oh, this is living now.
blueprints are a kind of plan that help engineers, architects, and drafters know how a project should go. Plans are everywhere. You might find plans for things at home or at school or even in some of your favorite video games. But the best kind of plans are the ones that help us grow. This month, we are learning about God's perfect plan by taking a look at the life of Jesus. Have you ever put together one of those super awesome, mega jumbo Lego sets? You know, the ones that end up looking like a skyscraper or the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars or a giant dragon? What would happen if you bought a Lego set, took out all the pieces, only to find that there were no instructions? That Lego set would be pretty impossible to build. Well, today we are talking about how God's plans and instructions help us in our own lives, and they show us a plan when things might seem impossible. Check this out.
Hi there, little chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl.
And I'm Andy, and welcome to Grow TV.
Hi, welcome.
So Carl, guess what I did today?
You became a licensed therapist.
Nope.
You became the #1 artist on country music charts.
Nope.
Did you... Wait, no.
What?
There's no way! You couldn't have.
What?
Did you undergo surgery to replace your human heart with a tortoise heart so you could live twice as long?
Yes, I did.
What? Are you serious?
No. I did something almost just as cool. I got us a plan.
What? Like a fern?
No, not a plant, a plan. And it's plans to build something extremely cool. The biggest paper airplane to ever exist.
What? You know the thing I love more than airplanes is paper. This is great. So what do we have to do?
Well, like I said, I have the plans right here. So all we have to do is follow the plans perfectly, and then voila, we have the perfect paper airplane.
Seriously? That's it? Let's look at the plans. All right.
Here it is, right? It's just right in here, right in here. Here we go. Anywhere right
That's
here.
a lot of plans.
Yeah. Right there. It's not that big, right?
Wow. Is that all?
Yep.
All right, well, it kind of looks a little confusing, but I guess we can give it a shot.
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say it. This is kind of weird paper airplane.
Now I don't think this is what it's supposed to look like.
I know that, Andy.
Maybe we should try it again.
There's no point. This plane is junk. Why can't my life be more like Jesus?
What do you mean by that?
Well, Jesus never had planes fall through like this.
Well, that's not true. Do you remember the story about Jesus getting angry in the temple?
It sounds familiar. What happened?
Well, Jesus was going to Jerusalem to go to the temple, and he found out people weren't sticking to the plan.
Wait, whose plan?
God's.
Oh, what were they doing?
Oh, where they were exchanging money and they were selling animals.
Well, was that bad?
Well, not technically, but they were doing it in the temple, which means they should have been celebrating the Passover instead.
All right, hold on. You lost me. Passover?
It was a time where all the Jewish people would come together in the temple and they would celebrate the time and remember the time that God delivered all the Israelites out of Egypt.
Oh, got it. So them selling and exchanging things on the Passover wasn't part of the plan, or God's plan.
Exactly, and when Jesus got really upset, he started to turn over the tables and tell everyone to leave. But some of the people were wondering why Jesus even thought he had the authority to tell them to leave.
Oh, good. Question the Son of God. That's a good move.
So Jesus told them that he would destroy the temple and then rebuild it 3 days later. A lot of people got confused when he said that.
I can imagine. I know he's like Jesus and everything, but building that temple in that short time? I mean, that'll at least take, I don't know, 7 to 10 business days?
Well, it actually took them 46 years to build the temple, but that's not the point Jesus was trying to make. Jesus was trying to tell them that he was the plan going forward, that their old plans weren't what they should be trusting in.
Well, what old plans?
The ones where they try to fix all of the brokenness on their own. When Jesus said he was going to rebuild the temple in 3 days, he was talking about himself. He said he had the power to bring himself back to life after 3 days, and his life would bring everyone else life.
Wow, so Jesus was talking about his life would be exchanged for ours the whole time.
Yes, and to put it simply, Jesus was hinting at God's big plan.
Wait, so Jesus dying for our sins was God's plan?
Sure was. It was the only way we could receive forgiveness and repair our relationship with God.
Holy moly, that's wild. So I guess God's plan did work out the way it was supposed to, unlike our paper airplane.
Exactly, and that's why I wanted to tell you this story. God's plan never fails.
Like Jesus, right?
What?
Like God's plan never failed for Jesus, but for others it might fail sometimes, right?
No, God has a specific and unique plan for each and every person out there, and it's better than any plan we could ever make for ourselves.
So God's plan is nothing like the paper airplane plan.
Nothing. God's plan is perfect.
Wow! Speaking of perfect, that's our big idea!
What?
Today's big idea is God's plans are perfect.
So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1,
2,
3.
God's plans are perfect! Yeah, they sure are. God has a perfect plan. It is perfecto. That is Spanish for perfect.
Yep.
Bilingual.
Yay.
See.
So I'm really sorry I got your hopes up about the airplane plans. I really thought it would be, cool. It just was confusing.
No worries. I couldn't understand it either.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What?
Oh no.
What?
It was upside down the whole time!
Oh.
We are foolish.
Okay. Well.
You led me astray.
See you next week, kids. Sorry. I apologize.
It's fine,
I
it's
didn't
fine.
know.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
In today's story, people were coming to Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover. Passover was a special time of remembrance for the Jewish people. And did you know that the Jewish people still celebrate Passover today, nearly 2,000 years after Jesus? Passover is a time for the Jewish people to remember what God has done for them. They think back about their time in Egypt and how badly they were treated there, but how God freed them and led them out of slavery. Jesus was also in Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover, but when Jesus got to the temple, he saw things that were going on there that were not a part of God's plan. And Jesus spoke up. In fact, he did more than just speak up. He went through the temple and flipped over tables. Jesus was making a pretty big statement about how displeasing this was to God. Jesus made everyone leave the temple. And the people were wondering how Jesus had any power to do that. Jesus answered them by talking about the plans that God had. Plans that were bigger than anyone could ever imagine. Jesus shared the plan about how God would destroy and then rebuild the temple. But the people were really confused by what Jesus was saying because the temple was this really big, special, holy place. What they didn't know is that Jesus wasn't actually talking about the temple building. Jesus was talking about what would happen when he died on the cross. Just like people were confused in today's story, sometimes we can get confused about God's blueprints for our lives. Just like people were confused in today's story, sometimes we can get confused about God's blueprints for our lives. In those moments, we can trust and rely on God to give us the help we need because his plans are always perfect. Let's go over our Bible verse for this month. Bible verses are great ways to remember what God says is true, especially when the world around us seems overwhelming or confusing. This month's verse is Jeremiah 29:11. Here's what it says. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future." Okay, now take just a few seconds to say the verse with the people around you. That's it for this Sunday. Be sure to head to missionventura.com/kids to check out this week's discussion questions and activities for you to do together. And don't forget, Elementary Live now has 2 times that you can watch on the platform. You can watch at 11:30 in the morning or 5 p.m. at night. Head to missionventura.online.church to check it out. All right, guys, have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.